And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. PiGosaur Monday. Oh, good. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another weekly edition of the PiGosaur Monday, number 22. I'm, of course, your side VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome, one and all. Whew, the bracket is live. The bracket is live. The bracket is stacked. Exclamation mark. Be in the chat to have a look at the bracket yourselves as we are jumping into our first series of the bracket of the broadcast. Here we go, right here in the round 32, and spawning in the top right hand corner of ley lines, we have the American Protoss player, the orange Protoss. It is Bulmyeolja. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have the Canadian Terran player, the teal Terran, representing Team Gosu. It is Greenert. Go. As we are selling in, and if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series, on who you think will advance on. Personally, Bulmyeolja and Greenert, I feel like are quite close in skill. Greenert and Bulmyeolja, they're both GM, they're both kind of more like amateur players, I would say, in the North American scene. But Greenert, I would place a little bit higher here than Bulmyeolja, so I'm ready, I'm excited as these two NA players do face off. Just catching with the chat. Hello, Hatsu, I see Hatsu in the chat. I see Psycons as well. Scare Wyvern, welcome. Do you have any of this? Good morning. Buenos dias. As I'm still just waking up. We just finished casting the PvT Monday last night, of course. Now this morning we are live with the PiGosaur Monday, and I believe this is going to be our only broadcast for the day. We don't have another broadcast in the evening, just PiGosaur Monday. So because of that, I do plan on having a cheeky ladder stream after this as well. So look forward to it. Look forward to the smurge, pappy. Oh my god! But we'll be attempting to ladder after the broadcast. We'll do our best. Again, we've been slowly trying to regain our skill. By that, I mean our MMR has been plummeting very much so over the past couple of weeks. I say over the past week, basically. The past week, but we'll get it back. We'll get it all back. It'll be fine. Copium, baby, copium. But from here, we are going to be settling in. And so far, nothing too crazy. Standard opener out of Bulmyeolja. Likewise, standard opener out of Greenert as well. Ooh, I say standard opener. It was a rack expand. Rack expand economic opener into what? Into 2 more racks. Okay, so we're going for a 3 racks here. This is going to be a very heavy bio army, very strong stim timing. Stim is going to be on the horizon here. Tech labs into stim, into combat shields, into a massive bio push. This is going to be quite committed here from Greenert, and we'll see if Bulmyeolja can recognize what's going on. Ideally, against this kind of army, you want to slow it down. You also need to prepare for that timing as well. You can be greedy up until a certain point, but ideally you'd have a defensive robo, immortal production, shield battery as well. We can see that Bulmyeolja is playing this out safely initially, but is in the dark as to what's going on. Bulmyeolja is in the dark. Likewise, he does zone away the Reaper. Behind this, it's going to be a Twilight counter opener into Blink. So once again, we do see a relatively standard follow-up here from Bulmyeolja. Blink is on the way. Question becomes, how many gates? 2-gate Blink, 3-gate Blink, or 4-gate Blink Stalker? How aggressive or how greedy is he going to be? Also, we're in a kind of an interesting era of StarCraft at the moment. We have been featuring a lot of the new TLMC maps, whether it's last night in the PvT Monday or during Sparkling Tuna Cup over the weekend. I do recommend the VODs. We've been having a lot of fun with the new maps, but here, coming into PiGosaur Monday, we're going to be calming down and settling into some of the older maps instead, or I should say the current ladder maps and the current map pool. I'm sure once the TLMC voting concludes, then we'll be able to jump into some of the newer maps instead. For those that are curious, the Team Liquid map contest voting is open. Voting is open, and voting will close at the end of the week. So we still have a week of voting. You still have a little bit of time here to get your votes in while you can, while they count as well. And every vote does count. So vote for your favorite maps. So now we have our follow-up. So as you mentioned before, stim timing, right? That early stim, early combat shields. Greenert is soon to commit across the map, building up his bio. Back at home, we do see our Robotics Bay follow-up out of Bulmyeolja. Now, my biggest concern for Bulmyeolja here is his Stalker positioning. he's at home. He has nothing to scout. He has nothing to spot the move out. He's staying back at home with those stalkers. He has Blink. Blink is going to finish up in a couple of seconds. And ideally, Bulmyeolja, he wants to be active on the map to contain, to spot a move out, and to slow it down. But that's not the case here, as finally he is going to be pushing. It looks like Bulmyeolja, he wasn't too confident when it came to keeping stalkers on the map without Blink. So it looks like he was waiting for it. Now that Blink is done, he is pushing. Likewise, Greenert is finishing up Stim. He's getting ready for his own move out as well. So the armies, they are about to clash. We have combat shields on the way, building up more marauders. Bulmyeolja, he's expanding, getting a third base. First Colossus is on the way, and Bulmyeolja, he does spot the move out. Does spot the army. Remember, Blink is done. Ideally, he wants to catch a marauder, a couple of marines, and ideally without losing a single stalker. He does want to engage ahead of time. And doesn't quite get anything yet. Again, it's only 4 stalkers. We have been skipping warp ins. Is it 2-gate blink? There's 3. 3-gate blink. 3-gate blink. He does pull away. Back at home, he has sentries, he has force fields, he has shield batteries, and the immortal. He can take a fight, but again, ideally, he does want to slow this down and just get 1 marine. No, not even. There we go. Colossus is revealed, and he will shut this down. He doesn't want to chase this though. Doesn't want to get caught down in the open. So far, nice defense out of Bulmyeolja. Now, what's important about what just happened here is that Greenert, once he saw the Colossus, he pulls away. And he barely lost anything. Greenert, he lost 2 marines. 2 marines did go down. He preserves the army, and he lives for the second wave, for the second push. This time with Medivacs, this time with greater army, this time with drop play. He still has map control. And we can find another way in. There we go, does split off. Splits off towards the left, towards the right, claiming his 3rd CC. 3rd CC is almost done, and now it's time to push. It is time to move out. That's Bulmyeolja setting up. Set up as he's distracted, drop into the natural. Pro's going to be going down. So far he gets she might be coming in clutch actually. Gets 2 worker kills at the same time. Greener, he does damage to the mineral line, and here he does find damage. A later reaction from Bulmyeolja, trying to keep up, and 9 probes going to be falling, dropping back into the right hand side. So far catching stalkers, catching more workers, stimming on 40. He wants those stalkers. Oh my god, he's going to get them. And not the worst trade. We'll have to pick up. He will have to get the hell out of here. Oh, will not lose a medevac. Barely not. Medevac does escape. And as the dust settles, not a bad attack here from Greenert. As you can see, he lost, what, 8 marines, which are expendable, 1 marauder for 10 workers, 6 stalkers, and 2 sentries. A much, much better trade for Bulmyeolja. Sorry, for Greenert, what am I to say? Much better trade for Greenert. Not the best, not a good trade for Bulmyeolja. At least Bulmyeolja, he maintains the Colossus count, but Greenert, he did trade very well. Oh, he's in the middle dropping. The Marines, the Bio Army's not ready for this. Oh, getting caught out. Medevac does fall. Nice catch it with the Colossus. Greenert, he sims in. He wants the Colossus. And he can get at least 1. Or at least can he? Sims on in, starts his 4, takes out all the Stalkers, and he wants all the Colossus. He's going to get them as well. I assumed he would get 1. He's going to get all 3. He gets 1, he gets 2. The 3rd one will not escape. Whew. And Bulmyeolja, he will lose everything. The economy is hurting. The army here struggling as well, losing all 3 Colossi. Ay. Not like this. Fighting on the center, I mean, was maybe the best case scenario, but even then he just didn't have enough support. Didn't have enough buffer for those Colossi. And with that, Greenert takes the fight. Now getting to 2-2 upgrades, rallying across the map. And Bulmyeolja, he's hurting. He's hurting a lot right now. He's relying on a gateway composition. +1 is not even done. It's got a lot of 0-0 charge lots, and that is going to be enough to hold the line. First Colossus is going to pop out. Let's put this Colossi. And that should be enough to hold on for now. From here, Greenert, he can get a 4 CC. He can expand, get a 4th base, so likewise start taking up in towards Viking, in towards Ghost production. Greenert does have a lead, and he's not throwing it away. Still building up here in the center of the map. Still building up. Bulmyeolja, he attempts to expand. Now, how do we bounce back from this position? Bulmyeolja, he's behind, 100%. He's behind, he's in the worst position, but there's potential with drop play, with Dark Templar, with Zealot run-bys, more importantly. If Greenert moves out, if he commits across the map, then I could hope he might be vulnerable. There's potential for these Zealots to get some damage done, as the Observer does get eyes on the third. Likewise, Disruptors. We have 2 already, and with some well-placed Novas, Bulmyeolja, he can win a fight as well. Zealots do run into the mineral line. Greenert, he races back home. This is giving Bulmyeolja more time to build up more Disruptors. And Zealots trade pretty well. They for a couple of Marines. They're going to be cleaned up, of course, but they buy time. Again, every second does count. Ideally, we do need more Disruptors though. There we go, more Disruptors on the way. Greenert, he scans, he sees the Disruptors. Rotates towards the right hand side. Bulmyeolja, he does miss the rotation. Uh-oh. Does miss it. He sims in. Yeah, the first Nova. Just gonna zone. No major connection yet. Second Nova goes off and it will connect. Oh my god. No other Disruptors. No. Yeah, that's exposed. And with that, Greenert, he sims in. He sims forward. Takes down the main army. GG gets called and Greenert will take game number 1. Ooh, GG. Greenert, he will take a lead in the series. Again, Greenert, he was able to just pull Bulmyeolja apart. A lot of it came down to, remember, it wasn't the initial 3-racks that did the damage. Remember, the 3-racks was deflected, but he preserved the army, and after the initial opener, after the 3-racks, then the medevacs arrived, and we saw Greenert split up his forces. Remember, he went for the drop on the left and the double drop on the right-hand side. He was able to get, what was it, 9 probe kills, 6 stalkers, 2 sentries. Really good value there, really good damage in favor of Greenert. He was able to just pull Bulmyeolja apart, and then it all fell apart when we saw Bulmyeolja push into the center. When we saw him push into the center of the map, when we saw him engage a lost 3 Colossus then and there, I mean, that was one mistake too many. GG. There was some opportunities to maybe recover, and the Zealot runby was nice, but alas, needed a little bit more. Did need more there, as we're now getting into game number 2. Here we go. As we're going to be loading into Error Home. I'm traveling now and very far from home. Hope to play tournaments soon. I mean, it's good to hear that you're traveling. Hope you're enjoying yourself. Hope you're having a great time, whether it's work related, whether it's vacation related, or anything in between. It's good to hear. Good to hear. I did notice we've been seeing less Hatsu when it comes to signing up to Open Cups. But regardless, hope you're enjoying yourself. Hope you're having a good time. As we're getting into game number 2 and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Error Home, we have our Orange Protoss player. We have our Orange Protoss down in the series. We'll see if he can recover. The American Protoss, it is Bulmyeolja. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Canadian Terran player, the Teal Terran, representing Team Gosu, leading the series 1-0. It is Greenert. We are going to be jumping in. And welcome to an older TLMC map. Currently, Team Liquid map contest number 20 is ongoing and open for voting. This is a map from TLMC 17, so quite some time ago. This is a smaller map in the map pool. This is a rush map. It's a rush map known for aggression, favors aggression. We'll see how Bulmyeolja and Greenert do approach this. We shall see. So now we do come in with the probe scouts, single gas, so it's going to be a Rax expand, economic open out of Greenert. Now, coming into a small map like Error Home, I would actually say, hey, this would be a pretty good map for something like a 3 Rax. I don't expect Greenert to go for the same build 2 games in a row, though. I feel like Bulmyeolja, he had a really good response early on, and sure, he did struggle a little bit more in the follow-up, but I would expect a stronger defense this time from Bulmyeolja. So we can see Greenert, he does deviate away. That is not a second Rax. Factory. Now, this I'm a little bit perplexed by. Usually, if you open up factory, we open up double gas. So we have something different in mind here for Greenert. Early tech lab. Hold up. Hold on. Greenert looks like he's building up for an expansion, but he's going for the early tech lab here. Are we going into early concussive shell? What is the plan? Probe Scout does confirm. Early add-on swap. Okay. Let him cook. let him cook, Pappy. Let him cook. Greener with a very unique build. So he does go Marine first, add-on swap into early Cyclone production. Now this was already scouted. Seeing the reactor on the seeing the tech lab on the axis early on is a tell that something is wrong, something is amiss. We'll see how Bulmyeolja plays this out. Safety shield battery. Does go for the safety shield battery. Back at home, Twilight Council opener into Blink once again. Greener's going for a second Rax already, and we'll see if Greener goes for a third Rax. Now, if Greener goes for a third Rax before Starport, this is going to be a 2-base all-in. As we are hyperfixated on Cyclone, then into tank production, into early bio as well, focusing on just producing army. And he can just commit with this. Otherwise, yep, there it is, third Rax. So third Rax is on the way before Starport. This screams 2-base all-in. Basically, there's a hyperfixation here on building up an army, on building up units, less so when it comes to expanding or taking up or going for harassment, going for drop play. And we should be working towards those early tanks. Double Cyclone initially, I understand that, but this ideally, oh, never mind, add-on swap here into Stim. Okay, huh. This is something that I haven't quite seen before. On the one hand, I appreciate this, but at the same time, this move out is going to be weakened. As you can see, even Greenert, his production is going to be delayed. He won't have any tank production as he has no tech lab on that factory. This is an earlier starport before that third Rax is even done, so this feels a little bit jumbled. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think Greenert can actually afford the Medivacs here. It's a little bit mistimed. Ideally, you want to go for the add-on swap and get the reactor on the starport and make 2 Medivacs at a time. But I don't think Greenert can afford that right now. Yeah. Get into his upgrades. So a little bit of a messy build here from Greenert. But we're getting there. Aggressive nonetheless. There's the add-on swap. Likewise, Bulmyeolja across the map, getting into his own charge follow-up. Okay, Blink into charge. No Forge, no +1. This will delay the third, so the third base is delayed for Bulmyeolja, as it does focus and prioritize charge instead. Medivac's now going to be on the way. And the Observer sees the bio production. Going further into the main. Oh, he wants that Cyclone. Oh, he wants it. And barely doesn't get it. Whew, Cyclone does escape. Gets a Medivac. Not bad. Gets a Medivac. And the Cyclone for a Stalker. Not a bad pickoff. Does he notice that Shimmer? Does not. Observer does get away. Behind us, getting a third CC. Is building up towards a longer game state. And we'll see what Greener can get done with this move out. Again, he has Stim, he has combat shields. He has a hefty bio army. Bulmyeolja behind this, getting his own third up and running, building up more chargelets. Bulmyeolja, he is slowing this down, breaks the lock-on. I feel like Bulmyeolja should be safe, especially with charge done. Like, charge has completed, so he should be okay here. So I'll take a lapse in, catching up the bio, not bad. Ooh, as we're going to lose everything. The Medivacs, they have all gone down. And Greenert, he will lose his entire army here. He does get collapsed upon. Yeah, he was just a little bit too aggressive, a little bit too excited. He will lose everything. And Bulmyeolja takes the lead. Let's go. Yo, can we take this all the way? Greenert back at home. I mean, there's no bunkers, there's 0 tanks. Remember, the factory has not been making anything this game. No tank production, no widow mines. I knew that Bulmyeolja would be safe and sound back at home, but alas, Greenert, he got completely caught out. And now Bulmyeolja can try to break the natural. He doesn't need to though. If he wanted to, he could just take a third base, saturate his third, build up towards splash damage, Colossus, second Robo. He finds a way into the main. Going for the add-ons, not bad. Oh my god, nice, really the add-ons. And likewise, Charge will say dive into the natural. This feels like a little bit of an overextension, but it looks like he will get on top of the factory. Does force a lift. But did bleed out Stalkers and Zealots. So far, not the best trade from Bulmyeolja. Better engage here from Greenert instead. Greenert's only losing 4 Marines, but he was forced to cancel some add-ons. True, add-ons were cancelled, but the third base now being taken. Bulmyeolja, it was his turn to overextend. He does pull away, does preserve his army, and now it's time for that next step. Now it's time for, I was going to say proper 3-base saturation. Bulmyeolja, he is supply blocked. So his macro is lacking a little bit here. This is delaying his 3-base saturation. Likewise, behind this, going double forge, double upgrades into Colossus production. Bulmyeolja at least finding other ways to spend his money, but his macro is lacking a little bit. So it does poke in. Greener now is on proper 3-base saturation. As Greener gets his third, Bulmyeolja should be thinking about his fourth. But no 4th base yet. I would argue that actually the 4th base is late for Bulmyeolja, especially after gaining map control. I think there was, and after confirming that there's a 3rd CC, that would have been the moment for a 3rd expansion, sorry, for a 4th expansion for Bulmyeolja, but didn't quite happen. Did not quite happen. Now getting a 2nd Robo, now we get the 4th. Ooh, it's gonna be delayed. Is delayed. Greenert does push, and he has taken that supply lead. Unlike Bulmyeolja, Greenert, he has been spending his money, has been on top of his macro cycles. Toon drop into the main base, bold move out of Greenert. He's going for it. Oh my god! Does go for the boost. Bulmyeolja out of position, production under fire. And can Greenert take this fight? Again, that's gonna be 2 Colossus diving in. Greenert, he kites back. Oh, he's going to be trapped here, and Greenert, he's going to lose everything. I say that, takes down the Zealots, getting on top of the Stalkers, but the Colossus, they just rain down on the bio. Yeah, they will shut this down. And this is where the Doom Drop wasn't really worth it here. I mean, he traded against the Zealots, that's true. He disrupted some of the production, but he didn't deny any upgrades, he didn't kill any tech. You can see here he lost Marauders, Bio, Medivacs for trading with Zealots really more than anything. So not an ideal trade here from the Terran. I mean, Protoss buildings, they're quite tanky. You know, she put enough time. Race down. There he goes off. Nice splits. Nice splits from Greenert. Looking for another way in. Bulmyeolja pushing into a concave. Nice pre-split. That was going to be going off. Better connections. Oh my god. They do connect. Bulmyeolja, he can take this fight. Another Nova goes off. Another big connection. Does miss the final Nova though. Disruptor's going to be going down. Nice big here by Greenert. Takes down 3. Now 4th Disruptor. So Bulmyeolja does overextend. Loses all of his Disruptors. His army looking a lot more vulnerable now. Greenert, he just keeps rallying. Just keeps rallying across. Getting another expansion, getting a 4th base. Up! Runs into the Colossus. He does want them. He's gonna get one at least. Takes out a Colossus. Yeah, sends one forward, and Bulmyeolja, he will not take this fight. Bleeds out 2 Colossus even. And Greenert, he wants the final 2. He wants all of them. He's greedy. And he may get them as well. As Bulmyeolja is running out of Zealots, he has to pull away. No shield batteries, no defensive position here. No defensive setup, support at the 4th. Bulmyeolja pulling away. Greenert, what does he want? Does he go for the 3rd, the 4th, or the main base? Or the main army? Sentries morphing in for force fields. It feels too late for that though. I mean, they're good force fields, don't get me wrong. To delay the army. But Greenert, he still stems in. Yeah, he still has far too much. Breaks through the sentries. Gets on top of the Immortal. And then the support just is not there for Bulmyeolja. He's trying, Pat. He's trying. We're bringing more Zealots, more Immortals, but the Colossus are exposed. And they're being hunted down. This time there are Vikings. Shield battery helps, but it's not good enough. GG gets called, and Greenert will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the next round. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Greenert, he does claim the series. Shout out to Bulmyeolja though, because here in game 2, we had a much stronger showing from our Protoss player. Again, he did take a better fight. He had a strong start, but as we saw, maybe Bulmyeolja got a little bit too excited. After he won the fight, after he cleaned up the army in the center of the map, what happened? He got supply blocked. He got supply blocked. His 4th base was late. Bulmyeolja, he was, if you remember, he tried to break the natural and he traded poorly doing so. So again, it did feel like maybe he got a little bit too excited after getting a lead, and he lost that lead. Did lose that lead, and with that, Greenert, he recovered, he bounced back, and Greenert 2-0s. GG, well played. GG, well played. With that, congratulations, as Greenert, he will claim the series. And now we have some catching up to do. Where are we dropping? Where are we dropping?